Hey, this is the Prankins Duelist. So I have been winning locals left and right. I think I currently have uh, 5 local wins and then 2 local tops over the course of the last month playing specifically Rescue Ace here. Um, I mean, it's a really good deck. It gets a lot better in the matter of about a month. A little bit less than that actually. But a lot of the interactions that this deck does, it ends up winning over courses that you wouldn't think. It is really good at building advantage on both you and your opponent's turn, but it is a slow grind type of advantage. Nothing like Labyrinth, where you have to slowly get into it, but it still does take like 1 or 2 turns before you're able to amount an OTK. But I do want to go ahead and show off the list just because it's taken so many wins. So let me go ahead and throw this up. So first off, obviously we're on the 3 Hydrant. Rhoda can't be targeted, and then the effect that I use a lot is the one where if you set a Rescue Ace card off of another Rescue Ace's effect, not monster, just Rescue Ace card effect, you get to go ahead and activate one of those cards that was set. A lot of the uses that you get is the fact that you can like banish the trap in the graveyard to set the spell and then activate the spell again. Then during your turn you can recycle the spell and then set it off of Turbulence, and then you can do it again. It becomes a lot of advantage grinding, and this is really good at it. 3 Impulse. This is the best hand trap in the deck. Speaking of something, because I do run actual hand traps, but it's the idea that this can get either 2 monsters on the board or a draw 2, discard 1 for the cost of your opponent literally just activating a monster effect on the field. It also has another good effect, which a lot of people, and I barely use, which is the effect where you choose your opponent's monster with the highest attack, and both players can't activate that monster's effects for the rest of the turn. It's really good because it specifically says choose, not target, so it doesn't actually target the opponent's card. It just indicates which one is going to be used. Monitor, the only reason I use this is the hand trap effect, which is the fact that it can tribute itself from the hand or field to reborn a monster. There are seldom times when you use the trap effect to go ahead and search for a trap, but most of the time that's when I'm going ahead and going for OTKs. The best normal summon in the deck, which is Rescue Ace Airlifter. I know that Hydrant should be the best normal summon, but this really is. It gets you your Reborn spell, it gets you your Field spell, and theoretically it can get you the Rhoda, but you normally use it for the Reborn spell so that you can get a lot of advantage, or use it for the Field spell so that you can get the draw advantage. It's really good. The effect that summons from hand doesn't get used a lot, but when it does, it is very good. Fire Attacker. The effect that it summons itself from the hand, I only run 1. A lot of people with the current age of Rescue Ace run 2 and 2, but I run 1 of each. The reason is because they can get pulled out by the Impulse. You normally don't want to draw this unless you're in a very bad situation where you're like opening Hydrant only so that you need an extender, but these are okay because this is draw 2, discard 1. This is summon 1 level 4 lower Rescue Ace monster, so any of these from the deck. They're also bodies, which is really good, but the only reason I run the one-ofs is because there's no other better name that you can get on your opponent's turn that gives you advantage like those two. Speaking of advantage for your turn, though, this is the best card in the deck. Banish 2 Rescue Ace cards in general, summon itself. It can use its effect to set up to 4 quick play or normal traps from the deck that are labeled Rescue Ace. And then when a card leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, you can go ahead and target another card your opponent can, another card on the field and destroy it. It's really useful because there are a lot of times when you can go ahead and force the opponent. A card you control leaves the field. When you can force your opponent into removing another card so that you can pop a card on your side of the field. Or on your opponent's side of the field. The reason why this deck has been doing so well for me, I run 3 Renaud. Renaud is awesome. It summons itself. When it's summoned, you can go ahead and recycle a warrior. It summons itself if you control a fire warrior. It cycles itself for either a equip spell or a fire warrior. And the idea that you just get to recycle your names for free is amazing. And then I run one engine that a lot of people have not been running in this, which is 2 burner, 1 blaster. This card is amazing. This itself brought the deck to a whole new level for me because it is fundamentally 2 names. And on top of that, this gets your name in the graveyard so you can reborn it off the reborn spell. This banishes your Rescue Ace names that are not the spell traps so that you can go ahead and recycle them with the field spell. It's a 28 body. Technically, it's 2 link materials if you open burner in any fire monster. It's fundamentally just one of the best extenders. I don't want to run 3 burner though because I don't want to see multiples of these. I just want to see the one and then lead into the blaster. If I see the blaster, these are just getting banished for material, but this card is just really, really good as a 28 body. The removal effect barely comes up, but it does come up every once in a while. And then I run 6 hand traps because you have to run hand traps in this type of format. Rhoda, 1 for 1, and then 3 more Rhodas for the deck. This searches for all of your fires in your deck. On top of that, it can also search for Renaud. So it's fundamentally just really, really good. On top of that, it's one that you can go ahead and recycle. So there are times when you use this to search for your Renaud to start your combo, and then you recycle this so that you can keep the Rescue Ace in the grave, so that you can banish it for Turbulence. The other concept is that this is a recyclable name, so you can just do it over and over again. And then for consistency, Prosperity. 2 HQ. A lot of people only run the 1. The reason why I'm running 2 is because it can recycle itself. So the idea that it can recycle itself, the 2 normal summons, the additional attack, it's just really, really good. The fact that it's just really, really powerful for literally no cost is why I want to go ahead and have 2 of them. It's also really, really good to draw. To rescue, reborn any Rescue Ace, or if you control the Hydrant, reborn any monster your opponent is in your opponent's grave. You need to run 2 for right now. Once emergency comes out, I'm going to drop 1 and fix up the deck a little bit. But mainly, rescue right now is just really good because you need the reborn effect so that you can do other type of like manipulation combos. Alert, it's not that good. The fact that you can recycle is okay. There are a lot of times when you recycle the impulse for the opponent's turn, or you can add it back to your hand. The Rhoda effect I barely get off because I barely get Hydrant onto the field. And Extinguish and Contain, the 2 traps that you set, and then Reinforce, which is secretly one of the best traps in the deck. I personally think it actually does. It's better than Alert, slightly weaker than Contain, but definitely stronger than Extinguish. This destroys, this negates. Reinforce lets you go ahead and increase your monster's attack by 1500 attack and defense. The effect that matters is that it's unaffected by your opponent's monster effects. Very little decks can go ahead and out big monsters without monster effects, and the first time it would be Stroke of Battle, it's not. And then secondly, another really, really important thing is you can banish it to set any of your spells, including the field spell. There are times when your opponent goes ahead and pops the field spell when you use the Effect or Recycle. Now, the Effect or Recycle is not a hard once per turn, so you can banish this, set this, and then do it again. There are other combos where like you target 4 with the field spell, including the Reinforce. Reinforce is going to banish it and then target one of the spells that you targeted, set it, and then because Reinforce is still going to a location that the Rescue Ace HQ recognizes, it's still getting it shuffled back so you can draw 1.
Main deck count?
42. I know that's weird. You can do 40. I would drop a rescue and I guess the field spell, but honestly 42 is exactly where I want it to be. I reduced the mass token count
to the legal limit.
No, the legal limit is actually unlimited.
Ah.
Yeah, they removed that legal limit a while ago. Link Karibo, El Mirage. These are just names. Fundamentally, there's no reason for you to be running these, but I needed extra deck pieces, and each one have their own use. IP, Hida, Security Dragon, that'll come up later, Phoenix and Cerberus, and then the only extra deck monster I run at 2, which is Isolde. This one's really, really good. The fact that you can search for your hand trap. You send the Durandal, summon the Renaud, recycle the Durandal, activate the Durandal, search for another hand trap, or you can search for your spell extender and you just go off from there. It doesn't seem like much, but your starting board is really, really weak, and then you OTK them either the turn after or the turn after that, just because you slowly build advantage and you push your opponent out of the game. Kind of exactly how you would beat a fire. Unicorn and Blackluster Soldier. I have never summoned this. I don't think I ever will. No, I summoned it once against Labyrinth. 45 guy that can't be targeted or destroyed. Really hard for Labyrinth to out. Unicorn. Heat Soul. This is where the Security Dragon comes up. There's a combo in here where you go Security Dragon and then you go Heat Soul. Heat Soul draws you a card during your opponent's turn. You draw a card. You pay 2,000, but you have 7 cards to your opponent's 6. And normally when you're going for Heat Soul, you're doing it because you want to go ahead and get the Turbulence as well. So it's set for draw 2. It's just insanely good. This is the normal combo that you do. You go Appaloosa for 3, and then you like set 3, or you have a bunch of hand traps for follow-up. Access Code. Access Code is just an OTK piece. Very, very powerful. And then Underworld Goddess. I don't think I've ever summoned Underworld Goddess more in a deck than this. But this deck, it just abuses Underworld Goddess. The fact that it's a 3K that stops battles. On top of that, it's a body that can't be that basically can't be used for anything other than targeting. So, and then you normally make it with IP. It's just insane. I have no idea why this deck shouldn't be running Underworld Goddess, but this deck really should, because it just loves it so much. Side deck, I run 3 Dark Ruler, 3 Twins, 3 Anti-Spell. I guess the only thing that you would want to question is why the anti-spells. Anti-spell is specifically because there is a lot of flu, and if you can stop their normal summon, flu's basically dead in the water. Another thing is, like, you deal with Sprite, and if you stop their normal summon, they are dead in the water as well. D-barriers. This deck actually has a really, really bad branded matchup, like insanely bad branded matchup, and I have no idea why. You think that it building slow advantage is really, really good against branded, but it just loses to branded so hard. So these two are designed to straight up counter branded. Also, another important thing to point out, for all 5 tournaments that I won, I have sided this in almost every single round and never seen it. I know. the camera, Morgan over here, he's sitting here and just laughing his ass off because he knows it's true. And he's seen me playing against him while he's playing the deck that we're going to profile next. And I've sided in anti-spells, and I've just never seen this.
I didn't even know he had it in his side. I've never seen him play it.
Yeah. 5 tournaments in a row, undefeated, never seen it. I've seen this once. It never came up. The one time that I had it, I had so much advantage, I won that turn. And then evenly matched because it's evenly matched. Some of the biggest changes that are going to happen in the future is the extra deck's going to be changed up. Heat is going away. That's going to be changed with Sunlight Wolf. And then I'm going to find a way to fit Proxy F Magician and Mud Dragon to the Swamp when the new stuff comes out. And then obviously the 3 Emergency and the 2 level 8 in this deck. How I'm going to go ahead and fit it, I have no idea, but I know for a fact it's going to fit. I might just get rid of the Renauds, maybe a Durandal, and I might cut down the Rescue Ace count because Monitor doesn't become useful in the future. Neither does the second Rescue. So that might be what happens to try and help count this deck down. prosperities are also not that good either, so I might cut those. Otherwise, yeah, this deck is really, really good. I want you to just go ahead and try it out yourselves. It's very fun. It loses to very, very little in regards to the metagame, just because it's just really powerful. Otherwise, thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful rest of your day.